Reverend, I can explain everything. Are you people?
We're from Copperton. The town's been taken over by this fanatical reverend who's leading a group of Satanists.
Hi, this is the Professional Amateur Hour coming to you with another review. This week, Leo sent me The Heartland of Darkness. And this 1992 film was directed by Eric Selstad and stars Linnea Quigley, Nick Baldassare, and John Dunleavy, among others, of course. The story of this movie involves this reporter who moves to this small town with his daughter. And once he gets there, he buys up the old defunct newspaper and reopens it. And he soon discovers that the town is full of Satanists and they're killing each other for whatever reason. But he starts reporting it and investigating it. But what will happen though? Well, you have to watch the movie and find out. Alright, so let's discuss this movie. Well, this is one of those long lost movies. And what that means is it never really got a home release or home theater release. So after its theatrical release, it just kind of sat in a warehouse. And now a company has come along and bought it. So now they're releasing it on Blu-ray. I think the company is Visual Vengeance, but there's a bunch of them out there. And so this is an older movie. It's been sitting somewhere for, 30 years and whatnot. So it is dated for sure, but I actually really liked that aspect of it. It was filmed, I think, in 98. And so it has all the 80s hair, 80s grunge outfits and all that stuff. So I definitely liked all of that. And it's all of the campiness that goes along with that too. So all of the stereotypical 80 horror stuff is definitely in there. They have also some villains that kind of look like Terminator-esque, and I absolutely love that too. So it is just, I gotta say, a lot of campy fun with this one. So if you do enjoy that 80s horror movie style, then this should be right up your alley. In addition, I thought the villain was really good. He is like this preacher, and he actually has taken over the church in the town. So he does all of his satanic sermons from the church. And man, these sermons are intimidating, I'll say that. They are very interesting and very powerful. You really get the sense that he has this really iron grip over the cult. And yeah, he's such an intimidating guy, even though he's just like a preacher as well. And he's, very interesting. The cult itself, I don't think everyone in the town is actually involved in the cult. So it's interesting to see who is part of it and who's not. And that's also interesting aspect of it as well. So yeah, the villain, I would just say, definitely stood out to me as something that I rather did enjoy. So it is a pretty campy movie, and they have all of that, stuff that you would expect. And with this one, there's some, funny things that happen. There is this reverend that shows up from the Vatican. He's just like a traveling reverend that goes around looking for, Satan worshiping cults for, I guess that's his job, how it is. And so he shows up and he's a delight in all the stuff that happens with him. He's pretty funny. And what else? I did enjoy the music. I thought the music was quite atmospheric and really did set the tone for sure. I did think it was a little bit loud sometimes, but hey, it is what it is, right? So yeah, lots of stuff to enjoy with this one. What else can I say? Well, I think if you are into, conspiracy theories and that type of stuff, this might be something enjoyable for you because it is all about, the satanic cult being hidden in, plain sight. And do they eat babies? I don't actually think they eat babies. I think they steal some babies in this one, but it's all in there. So if that's something that you subscribe to in your life, you'll get a real kick out of this one. I think seeing this satanic cult, running amok in the heartland of America, it certainly is crazy that way. And that brings me to what doesn't work with this one. Well, lots of silly stuff happens. I know that's kind of the campiness to it, but they are silly, I gotta say. The setup is in particularly very silly, I thought, because they move to this town and they buy the newspaper and they're cleaning up all the dust and stuff. And then people just start walking in and saying oh, can I have a job? And there's oh, okay, sure. And you're just this is so sitcom. And even the set itself that they have, you can kind of see light between the cracks in the walls, and you're what is this? And so lots of silly stuff happens that way, especially like I said at the start. And then other things too, they're looking for this cult, but they look everywhere except the church, even though it's very clear that they knew who was at the church. So That's silly. They have one satanic teacher, and her outfit is something you would never expect a teacher to see in the 80s. And so all of this other stuff, and they're also like killing each other, and you're just like, why would you be doing that? It's all very silly. So it is definitely for, 80s horror fans who like that genre. But if you're into more modern horror, then this is probably something you won't enjoy. But I do think there is a fan base out there for it. So who would I recommend this movie for? Well, if you like cheesy horror, this is going to be up your alley. It is quite cheesy, just cheese stacked upon cheese. And so yeah, totally check it out. As for a rating, I thought it was pretty fun, so I'm going to give it the 6.7. And with that being said, I think that's all I wanted to say. So like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.